Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to talk a little bit about the Hacktoberfest challenge that is hosted by the Grow with Open Source community, and I'm going to guide you through the whole process of contributing to one of their open source project called the Notebook. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. So in this video, we are not going into the very nitty-gritty of the what Hacktoberfest is, as I'm pretty sure most of you have heard it by now. So here's a short summary for the people who are not relevant with what Hacktoberfest is. So Hacktoberfest is an annual event which is hosted by DigitalOcean on every month on the month of October, and this is to encourage more developers to contribute to open source and win some digital rewards like digital badges or online credits for DigitalOcean, open source and stuff. So all you need to do is make sure you successfully match 4 pull requests into any of the open source project that are labeled as Hacktoberfest. So that's pretty much it about the Hacktoberfest. So before I get into the details about the challenge, let me just say a few words about the people organizing this challenge. So Grow with Open Source is a beginner friendly open source community that is more passionate about helping beginners and newbies kickstart their journey into open source. So to explain our efforts, let me just explain you a typical scenario. So whenever people tend to say I've contributed to open source, they typically mean that they find one of the open source project that is widely used by millions of people around the world, and they went through the source code and thought it was a great project. Maybe I can add so and so feature, or I know how to resolve this that issue. So they might get in contact with the maintainer of the repository, and they make their changes and make a PR to so that the maintainer could approve their changes. So this is a typical scenario when people refer to as contributing to open source, and when the same situation comes to beginners or newbies, they are pretty intimidated by such a huge code base, or they need certain skills to understand those things. And maybe the source code, the whole project uses a different kind of tooling that is bleeding edge or more advanced to their level. So we are trying to help these people to reach their level by giving a glimpse of what the whole process could be. So we started as an GitHub organization and created a few repositories for these people, these newbies, to make their own contributions, to showcase their own work within our repositories. While they are trying to do that, we are making sure that they do some quality work by running some linting workflows, or some running some checks through GitHub Actions. So we are trying to encourage them to put their whole effort into learning and contributing stuff. Now that we are familiar with people organizing this challenge, let's talk a bit more about this challenge. So the challenge rules and the main goal hasn't changed since last year. All you have to do is make the four pull requests into one of the repositories present within the Grow with Open Source organization, GitHub organization. So all you need to do is fork one of them and make your 4 pull requests, so that we could perform the linting checks and approve those PRs. That's pretty much it, and you will be receiving certificates, LOAs, and digital badges from our side, like the Grow with Open Source. So that's pretty much it. All you have to do is match for pull request, and you can check out my previous year's video so that you can understand how to contribute to most of the repos, like similar repositories like Java projects, C++ projects, Python projects, and JavaScript projects. It's kind of similar case for DSA too, but coming to the notebook repository, which is a blog project, it is completely different from these repositories. So you have to follow certain things. You have to use Markdown so that you can write your own blog and post it onto the generated web page. So in this video, I'm going to guide you through the whole process of how you can write your own blogs and contribute to this notebook project. Before I get right into the very details and contributing to the notebook project, I just want to go through the list of repositories present with the Grow with Open Source organization, GitHub organization, to show you what's available for you to contribute. So as you can see, here are a couple of repositories: Python project, JavaScript project, Java projects, DSA, C++ project, and notebook. And these are all the beginner friendly repositories. You can select any of them, you can fork multiple of them, you can make multiple pull requests to any of these repositories. Maybe I can do two pull requests to Python projects, one for JavaScript, one for Java. It's totally up to you, but you have to make sure you make those four pull requests to complete this challenge. Also, I forgot to mention about the registration form in the previous section. So the link for the registration form is present within the description. You can check out and fill it out. It's pretty easy. So before I get right into the notebook project, let me just go through one of the projects, let's say Python projects. So as you can see, here are a couple of projects already been contributed to this repository, and here is a neatly documented readme.md file, and here's the contribution section. As you can see, it's a very neatly documented step-by-step guide for you to make your contributions. As you can see, step 1 says you have to install these required tools to make the required contributions, and you have to fork the repository, clone the repository, create a new branch, make your contributions, commit them, and push them so that you can make a pull request. When the linting checks are passed and the code review is done by the maintainer, your PR gets merged into the repository. So these are pretty steps, and you can check out in this video. I just come back to this video a bit later. So I want to point out that you have to check out the contributing.md file, as this is very specifically written for each repository. Some things might be similar from repository, but there are few specifications for each repository. So I insist you to check this file contributing.md. So let's go ahead and see what's within this file for Python repository. As we can see, it's pretty neatly documented, like setting up environment, how to get started with contributing. Here are some instructions and guidelines. Here's the whole file structure for the Python projects, and here are the file naming conventions you need to follow. Documentation is saying that you either have to follow the kebab casing or the snake casing, instead of giving just spaces between your project file. Like when you say Python game, you have to either like Python hyphen game or Python underscore game, and it's less recommended to use spacing like Python space game, but I believe it would still work if even if you give any spacing. So I still recommend you to follow either snake casing or kebab casing. So here's an example for the file structure. Here will be the all default files, that is the this whole thing, and here will be your project with and as you can see here, you can have multiple files and within multiple file hierarchy. And here is the whole step-by-step contribution guide. It's the same thing as we read before, like setting up the environment, forking it, cloning it, creating a new branch, making your contributions by following the file structures, rules and regulations, committing, adding and committing them, pushing your branch, creating a pull request. If the linting works and passed, and code reviews done by the maintainer, your PR will get merged into the repository. And here are some rules and regulations. So just go through this whole file. So if you're still imitated by this whole process, you can just go ahead and check my previous year video. You can see here I've gone through complete scratch by selecting one of the repositories on random and forking them, cloning them, and I did it by showing you how you actually need to do. Like I've go through the whole contributing.md file, and I've followed the each step within the contribution. So this is the step 1, I have to do this. So setting up the environment, I have to set up my environment. I did the installations and stuff like that, and I have to fork it. I did forking, and here are the rules and regulations. So I followed those rules and regulations and stuff, and I followed all the rules and regulation stuff. as you can see here. And I've created the whole project. I've made my simple calculator, as you can see. Here's a Java example, and I've committed it and pushed it, and I've deliberately formatted it in a wrong way so that the linting checks would fail. Show you how to resolve this thing. So as you can see, these are the whole annotations that are saying, which are pointing out that this is wrong with my contribution. So I've also fixed it, and when it's done, the linting checks are passed. As you can see here, it's building up, and all the linting checks are passed. So now this will be reviewed by the maintainer, and if it passes the code review, it will get merged into the repository, and you will get the Hacktoberfest accepted badge, so that it will be same reflected within your Hacktober profile. And you can check out your Hacktober profile on hacktoberfest.com. All you have to do is say start hacking and log in with your GitHub. And as you can see, my profile has booted up here, and here are the couple of pull requests I've made, and these are still being reviewed by Hacktober. And when they are done, I'll be getting each digital badge for each pull request that is being accepted by Hacktoberfest. So this is the whole thing about grow with open each repository in grow with open source. And you might even find similar repositories that accept pull request containing some Python projects or C++ projects, Java projects, JavaScript projects, and etc. But the thing which makes these repositories stand out is the contribution page, which showcases your whole contribution. It contains all the contributions made by different people to this repository. As you can see, it contains the project title and the person who contributed to it, and these will redirect to the profile, GitHub profile of the contributor, and these are the pull request links, and here are the demo pages. And if you have neatly documented your project using readme.md file within your directory, then you can get a neatly generated page specifically for your project. As you can see here, this guy has made a tic-tac-toe game, and with a GUI on Python, and he got this neatly generated page which is deployed online and can be shared to multiple people. Even though if you haven't made any readme file, it would still redirect you to the project directory. As you can see, this guy has made a web blocker project containing a single file called blocker.py, and as you can see, he has selected these files, and I believe he wrote some code that blocks these websites. Since the linting works has been passed, and the code review has been done by the maintainer, his PR got merged into the Python repository, and the changes were reflected within the contribution page. So this is the similar case for all of these projects. And if you are working on any HTML, CSS, and JavaScript projects, you can contribute them to JavaScript projects, as the demo page will lead to the actual deployed version of your JavaScript project. Say I've selected rock paper scissors game, and when I go to the demo page, I can actually play this game by selecting rock paper and scissors. So it's calculating my score, and I can reset it, so I can play it over and over again. So these things are shareable to other people, and this whole page is containing your own thing. So as you can see here, multiple people have contributed to a single thing. I believe one of the guy has created the actual game, and another guy has added the resetting feature and score calculating feature. So you can do other stuff too. So that's pretty much it. Most of all of these repositories are pretty similar, but the notebook project is quite different from these things. So that is why I'm making this video to show you how you can contribute to notebook project, which is a blog project. uh, it's quite different from these things. It's mostly content writing, technical writing, and stuff. So I'm going to show you a blog, how you can do your contribution to this project. As we are comfortable with all the options uh, present to us to complete the Hacktoberfest challenge, let's go ahead and see what's present within the notebook repository. As you can see, there are multiple folders or directories and files present within this repository. And if you're a Ruby guy, you might realize this could be an Ruby framework. And unfortunately, it's not Ruby's on Rail, but Jekyll, one of the popular framework that is used by GitHub pages to convert the markdown files like readme.md file into static web pages. So you can just create your own theme from this framework, but for time being I've choose to go with the chippy theme, which has a great UI and comes with many features. So that's the thing I've created this repository. And before we get on to this whole technical stuff, let's go ahead and see what the end result of this notebook looks like. So as you can see, this is the whole notebook project, and it looks quite neat and elegant. Also, this is quite responsive, so it can be accessed through multiple devices, tabs, phones, laptops, PCs and stuff like that. And it has many features like categories, to divide through categories, tags, archiving. It shows the specific date on which the blogs have been posted, and a neat about section. And it also comes with a scary white mode and other links that could redirect to grow with open source community. This one obviously leads to the GitHub pages. This would redirect you to the emailing client that you might have, and this is an RSS feed. It's kind of old tech, but some people still kind of use those things, and this will lead to the LinkedIn page for grow with open source. So that's the pretty much whole thing. Let's go ahead and see what's present within these blogs. So this is one of the initial blog written by me on September 2023, and this is the welcome page. What is notebook? It's a Jekyll framework, chippy theme and stuff like that. Why do we use it? As you can see, we have a side table of content, TOC, on the side of it, and it is following us step by step. And here's a tag which you can by select the header, and as you can see, it's selecting the whole thing by header. And if I just copy the link and open it in a new tab, I will automatically reach that section. So you can also copy things to a specific sections and all this stuff. And one of the great things about this blog post is you can share it directly to your social medias. And it also comes with a live reaction and commenting framework feature, but you need to sign in with your GitHub account so that you can use this feature. Actually, some guy had tested this out, and it's present within the notebook. Some guy has commented trial comment. So if I want to react to it, I need to sign in with my GitHub. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And let's see what other features are present within the blog, which through which we can write some appealing and awesome blogs. So as you can see, we have some quotes, specialized quotes, like this one looks like some important quote, and this one looks more like a tip quote, and this one looks like a warning quote and stuff like that. This also comes, we can also embed images within it, and also comes with syntax highlighting, copyable code blocks and stuff like that. And tags also comes with footnotes. This is one heck of a blog. So this is pretty much the whole notebook project. So we are going to write our technical content, so that technical content or any other content, we are going to write our own blogs within this repository so that we can share it to other people. So as you can see, we can write neat and compelling blogs like these with the whole descriptions and code blogs and stuff like that. And this could really be a great contribution to yourself, as it reflects your technical learning and stuff like that. So now that we are comfortable, and now that we know what we are going to work on, let's go ahead and see how we can write our own blog so that we can create such amazing blog pages. So now that we are more familiar with the steps that are required to make, like build the blog and make contribution to this open source project, we can just go ahead and follow go through the steps and implement it one by one. So let's see how we can build this project. So as we can read after setting up environment, so initially we have to set up the environment. So I believe you don't have the required environment to build this project. So all you need to do is go to one of these subheadings, and depending upon your system you can install the required environment, that is Ruby and Jekyll framework and stuff like that. So I could have shown you all the installation process by copying them and executing them on my command line, but I have already did all of these things, so I'm going to skip it for now. So setting environment is done for me, so I'm proceeding with the next step, that is start by forking the repository. So I'm going to fork this repository. All I do, I'm going to click the fork button, and as you can see it says I'm already a fork exists, so I cannot create a new fork. So I'm going to my repositories, and as you can see I have my fork repository right here. All the source code is forked from the original uh, uh, upstream, and is present within my profile. So I have the required environment and I have forked the repository. So the next step is cloning the repository into our local machines. So I'll go ahead and copy this URL, and all we need to do is create clone and paste the URL, and we can clone the GitHub repository into our local machine. But instead of using the good old HTTPS, I'm going to use the GitHub CLI because I feel more comfortable with GitHub CLI. If you're a Linux user or a Mac OS user, previously you might have used SSH, which is more popular in Unix and Linux based systems. But GitHub CLI has made things more easier regarding the authentication and managing the whole GitHub resources right from your CLI. So I encourage you people to give it a try, and I'm proceeding with this for now. So I'm going to paste it, and let's see. So it's cloning the repository, and done. It has cloned the repository. So let's head back to the blog and see what we can do. We have the environment, we forked the repository, and we cloned it. Instead of changing the directory in notebook, I'm just going to open it through VS Code. So for notebook, and I've opened it through VS Code. So I have all my files right here, and let me just open up the terminal, and yeah, I got my terminal right here, and I can execute any commands or any stuff through this terminal. So we have forked it, cloned it, and it is telling us to install the project dependencies using this command called bundle. So I'm just going to paste it and press enter. As you can see, it's really blazing fast. After that, to statically host the website in local system, we have to use this command, but to view the changes incrementally, we can use incremental argument. So I'm going to paste it right here and press enter. As you can see, there are a couple of deprecation warnings. You can just ignore them, everything is working pretty fine. And as you can see, if you have observed it well before, there was previously no underscore site folder created within this directory. So this is all your content, like all the markdown files is converted, is generated into HTML content, and is placed within this directory, and this directory is being hosted through GitHub pages. That's the whole process, and how this Jekyll framework works. So as you can see here, the server address is a localhost and a slash notebook. As I mentioned it previously, by default it will be hosting on a slash notebook route. So I, instead of opening it right through here, I'm just going to copy this and open it in a new tab. As you can see, it's the same good old notebook project, and pretty much everything about it is pretty full same, only except the fact that we are hosting it through our machine locally. So now that we have hosted it, let's go back the blog and let's check it. Now we have built the project within our local system. So when we come to the contribution guidelines, uh, I'm going to skip these 2 points as I am familiar with Markdown. You can also check it through the in the official GitHub documentation, and I am a little bit aware of how the text and typography things work with this Jekyll framework. As I've worked on this thing for a while. So coming to the third point, the most important point, you have to place all your posts within the underscore post directory. All your blogs and all the file content should be placed within the underscore post directory. And you should also follow the convention as YYYY as year, M month as month, DDD as date, and file name.md. So I'm just going to copy this path, and I'm going to, so as of now, I'm going to stop the server, and I'm going to post, and I'm going to paste this. So now I'm going to update it live. So the year is 2024, October. It's 22nd already, 22nd, and the file name. So the blog I have already prepared for this recording just to save some time is about introduction to GitHub Actions, as I was working on a couple of creating workflows for these repositories, all the automations and CI/CD kind of workflows I've worked on for Grow with Open Source. Had gave me some knowledge about the very fundamental things about GitHub Actions. So I've broken down those concepts into simpler things so that you can understand it as simple as possible. So I will be showing you the blog. So before I do that, let me just create the file. Introduction to GitHub Actions. So yeah, we have created the markdown file, and we have, and the block says that we have to add our details as within underscore date underscore data slash authors.yaml file. So let us go to the underscore, and here is the authors.yaml file, and as you can see, my details are already present within this configuration file. So I don't have to personally do anything right here. If you're doing this right now, you have to add your details here so that it can be referenced through one of these blocks. So as of now, I'm keeping this aside, and I'm going to the next point. And storing related to the images, I will be coming back to this point. So the basic templated configuration for each and every blog is right here. So I'm just going to copy this part. I'm going to paste it here. So I will be updating one by one. It's a title. It's asking about title. So it's intro. Production to GitHub Actions, and it's 2024, October 22nd, and it's almost like 1 o'clock. Minutes, it's 43, and seconds, I'm not pretty sure, so let's do it like that. And since I'm from India, and my current place follows the time zone of Kolkata, UTC offset will be 0530. So that's kind of default thing for me, and you can check for your time zone, you can check it by yourself. And for the main category, it is going to be DevOps, because it's mostly related to CI/CD workflows and automations and stuff like that. So DevOps, and subcategories, I'm just going to add one subcategory, and it's GitHub Actions. And as of tags, it is I can add multiple tags related to GitHub, and to be more specific, in GitHub, it's GitHub Action, and it's mostly related to DevOps. So DevOps, we write most of the CI/CD workflows within it. So CI/CD and also automations. And this blog is more beginner friendly. So beginner, and this will be an introductory blog. So I can say it's introduction. Yeah, I think there it would be fine. It's a lot of tags. Now coming to the author section, I'll have to copy the unique tag that is present uniquely for within the whole repository. So I'm just going to paste that, and as of the image directory which I will be creating soon, I'm just going to name it as intro to GitHub action. I could write complete introduction, but just to save a little bit of time, I'm just going to write intro to GitHub action. And as of the file path, maybe I will be giving some GitHub action dot some JPG or JPG or some PNG and some image extension, and alternate text will be like GitHub actions. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I've wrote the minimum basic configuration. After adding the files into the this particular directory, I'm going to maybe see whether if it's some kind of JPG or PNG or any other extension. I'm just going to update the extension and the name if as well, so that both of them could match, and the changes could reflect onto the blog. So let's go ahead and host this server, and let's go ahead and see the changes. Okay, the also I forgot to mention that there's a slight delay in update within my system. I'm not sure whether it's completely solely for my system. In just in case if this thing happens to you also, all you have to do is delete your underscore static directory. I have deleted it. I've just used the rm-rf, which recursively and forcibly removes the internal files present within the underscore site of directory. And all I need to do is run the spin up the server again. And when I refresh, you can see that I've got the new blog section. So as you can see, we haven't placed any content right here, so it's just saying your content writing begins here, because that's all the thing we have given here. So that's the thing. And since we haven't given the actual existing file, it's not working properly. As you can see, the image was not being loaded, and the alt image the the alternate image says that it's GitHub action, which is provided alternate message which is provided as GitHub action. So this is the thing. So now I will be adding the whole blog into this content, and I will be explaining each part of the content, like how I have structured it and stuff like that. And this is not only for an example, but you can really study from this blog, and you can get some insights about GitHub action. So as of now, I will be doing this off cam, but after adding the content and all the images and stuff, I will just come back to it, and I will show you what are the things that I have added and stuff like that. Boom. And as you can see, I've added the whole content of the blog off screen, and it might look like a pretty big blog. So I'm just going to show off the output, and I will point out 2 or 3 things so that you can try out stuff for your own. So and just before I do that, I just want to show you that I have added those images. And yeah, as I've said, I've added the path as a asset slash images slash intro to GitHub actions. And as you can see here, within the assets and within the images, I've added the directory and placed all the images. You can do that by yourself, or you can add CDN links to, like one of the CDN link which I have added is around here. Yeah, as you can see, it's a one of the snake output. You will get it, you will get to it when you see the blog. So this is quite a content I have written. It's quite, it might seem large, but it's quite beginner friendly and stuff like that. So let me just go ahead and show you the blog. So I've just and before I've loaded the stuff, I just had to delete the site underscore site directory and run the command again, so that it can build the things from scratch again, and it worked out fine for me. So let me just show you how I did it. I've just chained it with rm remove command with a hyphen rf argument, which stands for recursively and forcibly remove the underscore site underscore site directory and all the files within it. And I am chaining it with this command, so that when this command was successful, it will run this command. So when I click enter, you can see it being deleted and being created again. And when I refresh, everything is according to the order. And one more thing before I go on to the blog, I just want to show you that uh, when we added the category as DevOps and a subcategory as GitHub, the same thing is reflected within the category section. As you can see, the DevOps, under the DevOps section, you can see the GitHub Actions as the category, and the same goes with the tags. You can see when I selected introduction, it is showing the two things, and when I select automation, it's showing the introduction to GitHub. And same goes for the archive, and it has recorded my date as 22nd August. Sorry, 22nd October, introduction to GitHub Actions. So let's go ahead and see this blog. So a pretty neat blog, too much of WebOS content, and you can go ahead and give it a read. It's a pretty good read. And as you can see here, we have started with giving with headers. This is the similar to H2 tag, and with when coming to the Markdown, all you have to do is give two hashes, which are equivalent to H2 tags in HTML. And when you give H3 three hashes, it's like H3, and so on. And the same is being reflected within the table of content on the right side. And same goes for the images. I have placed the images. These are zooming and out zooming. And for the content, since this is Markdown, it also supports some of the HTML elements like ABBR, which I'm pretty sure it stands for abbreviation ABBR, and all you have to give is some title, and it will just give some additional information about a particular word. Like when I mention here production build, when I hover over it, it's giving me the definition or more information about the thing as highly optimized or compiled or build version of an end application. Same goes for DevOps, a software development practices that combines development and operations to deliver software faster and more reliably, and stuff like that. So that's the thing. And when it comes to the colored quotations, you can see that I'm using prompt, and these kind of things are neatly and deeply mentioned in the text and typography blog from the chip theme, which I've mentioned in the previous blog, which is contribute to open source, and maybe it's in the contribution guidelines. Yeah, text and typography stuff. You can just check out some of this thing. And coming to the code blocks, it's the same thing. All you have to give is backticks, three backticks, and followed by the file extension. If I want to say this is a JS, it would be reflected as JS. Sorry, I need to again run the server. It's kind of annoying. So it has delayed the rendering. It's now as showing as JavaScript, and now here it has become back to YAML. So that's the thing. Normal quotation marks are just as normal quotes are represented like this. And say if you want to talk about a specific thing, you can also see the content expanding and contracting depending upon the content. As you can see, when I reach what makes GitHub unique H2 tag, it has revealed all the sub H3 tags present within it, which are these things. And you can also copy these code blocks. You can embed links, all of these things. Also you can see the float, how you can float the images to the left side. You can just check out my uh, markdown file. It's yeah, it's right over here. No, it's for GitHub. Yeah, you can see I'm using the SAS classes like dot right, so it is making the image float towards the right, and so same goes if I mention as a dot left, and etc. So for giving hyperlinks, you can do stuff like this. All you have to do is surround the word with square brackets, and within followed by parentheses. You have to provide the link within the parentheses, and within the double quotes you can provide some message which is equivalent to title property within an anchor tag. So it's kind of similar to abbreviation tag, ABBR tag. Whenever you are forward, it can show you the message like learn more about Jenkins and stuff like that. So yeah, these are the things. And also the one of the additional thing that Chippy theme does better is giving the compatibility of changing the themes. Like if I want to change it into light theme, the image might not look really great. So we can add multiple images, so depending on which can suit light theme and the dark theme. So when I convert it into light theme, it I have added a different image which is more compatible with light theme. And when I turn back into dark theme, it renders a different image which is more compatible with dark theme. And if written some stuff and comparing some stuff with GitHub Actions and Jenkins, so you can just go through the stuff. It's very beginner friendly. You can start from scratch, and you can learn great stuff from this thing. So I've again divided terminology into sub parts like workflow, runner, jobs, step, events, and as you can see, I've taken workflow structure of within the structure of workflow section. I've taken workflow and I've divided it into sections and explained each part. And these are like the buttons. They are not actually buttons, but they are kind of a semantic tag which are KBR, KBD, I guess so, which are used to mention or specify that this is a particular keystroke. Like as you can see, Alt or Control. These are some keystrokes present within the keyboard. Spacebar. These are the some of the keystrokes present on the keyboard. So these it is one of the HTML tag to represent those things, and the Chippy theme renders it into one of the but kind of good looking buttons for the theme. And as you can see, this image, it's more like a PNG, and the numbers are outstanding through the image. So if I wanted this to be in light mode, these results might not be good. So we can create another image and make it render as one for dark theme. So it supports the light theme and one for dark theme. So to do that, you have to mention two images. As you can see here, I did for the snake contribution thing. You can see I've specified it as light, so this image will be rendered when it is in the light theme, and this image will be rendered when it is on the dark theme. And all of these things are code blocks. You can copy them. These are just unordered list, and you can use simple hyphen to denote that it is an unordered list. You can see it right over here. I am using it as unordered list, and these two stars, the any text present within these two stars are considered as bold statements, and anything present within backticks are considered as code. There is a HTML semantic tag called code. So any text between these backticks are considered as code elements. Any content you have pasted within these things are considered as side codes, and to give them specific properties, you can say that it's prompt. You can use the SAS classes like prompt tip or prompt warning, prompt important, and stuff like that. You can check out you can go ahead and check out the text and typography blog from the original Chippy theme. And as you can see, these are also the code highlightations, but they are quite different from others. So all I did is specify another SAS class, which is a file path, which makes it render differently from the normal code syntax. As you can see, there are also similar file tags. There are some of the blog posts which say it's an YAML file. As you can see, Right here it says an YAML file, but here it's kind of different. It's specifying the position of the file. Like it's saying that it's present within the GitHub directory, and within the GitHub directory there is a workflow directory, and within the workflow directory there is a linting .yaml script, and all these are the contents that are present within these YAML script. So all you can do is specify this as a file attribute and give the specific file path to be rendered like this. And these are like the checkpoints which I've shown you in text and typography. These are just the checkpoints. If you specified an X within this, it is considered as mark or tick, as you can see here. And if I remove it and present a space, it will just uncheck the particular task. This is a wonderful blog with scripts, detailed instructions, and documenting stuff, with lots of images and showing the process and all the stuff, all the libraries, and giving people warning and stuff like that. So I think I did a great job in writing this blog. So please give it a try. I've gone through the whole process of explaining what GitHub is, and breaking down the very fundamental concepts of GitHub Actions, and I've also built a live linting workflow, which is used as a part of CI workflow, and I've wrote the blog in such a way that it's more like I'm talking in front of you regarding a concept. So it's not like a complete document saying these are the things that do these things, but instead I am saying my personal suggestion and personal experience about a particular thing, and I'm guiding you to build a workflow by yourself, like understanding the components and understanding how you can use those components to build a workflow and stuff like that. So please give it a try. Please give it a read. It might worth your while. So this is how you write blogs and do stuff. So now that I have wrote the blogs and added the image, I can just commit and push those changes. But one of the mistake which many people does is not creating a new branch. They tend to create these things and commit these things into the main branch, and create a pull request from the main branch itself, and it's not a good thing, as main branch are supposed to be clean and neat. And if you are working on it, and it might look clumsy, as many people look at the main branch as the source code, actual code, which is more reliable than the current thing which is being developed, and you're ruining the actual purpose of keeping the main branch clean. So you have to create a new branch and then commit your changes and then create a pull request. So since I have created a blog, added the images, I can just go ahead and create a new branch. I'm just going to create and check out into the new branch, like -b new blog. I've created a new branch, and just going to click git status to see what are the things that are around. So these are the ds store are the things that are unnecessary, which are added automatically by Mac OS. They are a little bit kind of optimizers for they are kind of optimizing thing that indexes the different places, so that we can access files and stuff more faster. Okay, that's great. I'm just going to add git status and to see all the files. Why is this? I'm just gonna check if there are any ds store files that are present. Oh my God, there are still some. Yes, there are none. Okay, git status. So the here is our blog, and here are all the images that I've used for this blog. So actually it's a general rule of thumb that you commit daily on chunks of your code, so that you can undo the things which you don't want within your. So since I have added these things, let me just commit with a small message. Okay, I think that's pretty decent commit message, and I'm going to push it. it's taking a little bit of time. That is the reason why I have suggested, and the project is recommending you to use CDN links rather than raw files that might bloat the whole project. So when I reach my repository, it's asking me to compare and make a pull request. So I'm just going to compare and make a pull request. So instead of the giving the default message, I'm going to say introduction to GitHub action blog. Maybe I'm going to say added. Well, not info description, but I might just give a small glimpse. A beginner friendly introductory blog that teaches the very fundamentals of GitHub actions with a live example. Okay, I think that's great. I'm just going to create a pull request. And as soon as I create a pull request, some automation workflows are being run. And as you can see, it's greeting me like, "Hi Shamit, thank you for this pull request. Please make sure you have followed the guidelines and we will review it as soon as possible." So also it has automatically added the Hacktoberfest label and assigned me as the guy who is working on this particular issue, or in this case blog. So since I can't review my work myself, it hasn't added me as a reviewer. If some other guy like you have made a pull request to this, these automation workflows would have added me as the reviewer automatically. So I'm going to review all these changes. Markdown file is a really big one, so I'm not going to do that since I myself have made it this one. So I know these images, I approve it. So I'm just going to go ahead and click viewed, and all of the files are reviewed. I'm skipping all of this for my case, as I am aware pretty much. I'm very aware of what I am doing, but in your case it might be different, as I might be going all through your content. So please don't expect things to be much easier with you. So I have submitted the review. So now that I've done with the reviewing, and there are, for this repository there are not much of linting works, so I'm just going to add a commit message, and I'm going to merge this. And as of now I do not need any of this branch, so I'm deleting. And even after the merging, there are still some checks being run in the action. As you can see, auto labeler is working and automated message has been generated. As you can see, it has automatically added the Hacktoberfest accepted challenge, and it says, "Thank you for I'm Watchdogs. Please make sure to check your contributions on GitHub pages." So let's go ahead and see if the things are being reflected or not. So I think the issue is it is still being deployed. Let's see if things. Yeah, it's still being deployed. That's the issue. We have to wait for that. Yeah, it's deployed. So let's go ahead and check it out. Refresh. Yes, we have our first block deployed, and as you can see, everything is pretty neat and working as expected. I really insist you to try it out by yourself. This is a pretty good example. You can also read this blog. It is also present within the category section, also updated in the tags, and it also been archived. So you can go ahead and give it a read and let me know what you think about it. So that's the whole process of contributing to the notebook application. And I hope you really enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a happy hacktoberfest.